Hi, today's shout out is for Grace. Look what happened. We moved into a new pot, and I just think of you every single day because I keep her right here on my desk and think about our happy memories that we had in the core four together. All right. Well, today's Friday edition, we have a wonderful poem for you. It is called Hands. Um, I absolutely love this memoir because it is in poetry form. And Sarah Keyes does a wonderful job in this particular one of a wonderful piece of author's craft that many of us have talked about in our conferences earlier. She begins the poem talking about her being, oh, maybe I should be a hand model. And she ends the poem with her dad saying, oh, maybe you should be a hand model. So it ends up to be a little bit humorous, but I know some of us have worked on like our argumentative essays, having a hook, maybe telling a story or starting with one thing, and then in your clincher, referring back to that or finishing that story. So it's a wonderful piece of craft that you might want to attempt to use in your memoirs as we continue to work on memoirs all through next week. When you are done watching the video Hands, I'm going to ask you to try something new. I'm going to ask you to log on to something called Padlet, and you'll find that right in Classroom. You're going to click on the Padlet, and you're going to see this right in front of you. I'm going to ask you to please be appropriate because this is our first attempt at social media in a common format. All right, and I have three questions up here. You can answer all three, only answer one. I do hope you try something with this. Again, I want to see what we can do. What do you think is the theme of Hands? What lines helped you to realize this? What you will do is you will then click on there once you log in using your Google, and you'll write, I think the theme is, or the theme is blah, blah, blah. Okay. Another one might be hands are a symbol for. So after watching it, what do you think the hands are a symbol for? Okay. And there's a lot of different symbols that a lot of different things it could symbolize. And finally, Sarah mentions her father a lot in her poem. What special person influenced you that you may wish to write a memoir about? And I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to write my grandma. My grandma lived with us for a while, and she actually passed away the day after my birthday when I was in the 8th grade. So she definitely holds a special place in my heart. So I'm just going to hit the plus there, and then I don't want to do another one. There you go. That's what we have for your Padlet. I do have one last thing to ask of you today, and I know we have a lot of little things to do. I'm going to ask you take a piece of paper and you copy your hand, okay? And on each finger, you write a memory of something you used your hands for or they were a part of. Now, school appropriate. There are certain things you don't want your English teacher knowing, so please don't tell her that. All right, after you have this, I'm going to ask that you take a picture and you upload it into your journal. And I will post that on Classroom so you can see it. Right now I'm having some technical difficulties getting my camera to talk to my computer. So eventually it will show up on there. And I just briefly wanted to tell you some of my stories on the Pinky. I have 2 weeks after I got my license, and I got my license on my 16th birthday, I completely totaled my parents' car and I ended up in the ER. That might be a wonderful story because I learned a lot that night. Um, my other finger, I broke my finger playing softball. One summer, I was stupid enough to have my finger in the way trying to catch the ball, and the finger caught the ball instead of the glove. Another finger I have cutting Joey's hair way too short. In fact, at this moment, we can't get to a barber shop or a beautician, and I'm threatening to cut his hair, and he's having memories from way back when he was about 7 years old, and I kind of hacked at his hair. This one is a little bit embarrassing. The next one, I used to have scratching fights with my sister. I dig my nails into her hand. She dug them in. I don't know. I may have a couple of scars on my fingers yet right now. And then my last one was I only held one baby my entire life. As you know, Joey was about 7, 8 months old when I adopted him. And that baby was my newborn niece. She now spends a lot of her days with us because she's off of school too. But I actually got to be a part of her being born, and that was quite a remarkable experience. And that has helped me, obviously, to get along with my sister a lot more. And I ended up being her godmother, and that's a very special relationship for me. So, I am looking forward to. You do not have to write the entire story. I told you that. You will see the sample up on Classroom when my phone decides to work. But I only have like one sentence summary. Maybe on Monday you want to decide to write about one of those. I don't know. I hope you all have a wonderful and healthy weekend, and I look forward to talking to you on Monday.